back to our, I was gonna say first annual, but this isn't first annual, but our first in a while,
Third.
yeah, third mayoral slash governorial debates. I'm your host, D Cypher. Joined alongside me to my right is Chilo Green 93. He is the, what's that called, like runner up? Or what's the thing called? Like the challenging? I'm thinking of boxing now. Whatever. On my left, yeah,
Candidate.
he's opposing. Thank you, thank you. He's the opposing candidate. And then on my left is our current governor of the city, DB Awesome 56. And in attendance we have the ever so awesome President Sly Cooper, Ned, and myself, but I'll be asking some of the debate questions. So let me get into my position. They don't usually the debate guy has a chair he sits in, but
And this little old me Ace of Spades in
Yeah,
the
well, this
background.
place is about to be going undergo renovation, so this is like the last little area we're gonna be in. The last time we're gonna be in this horribly designed church.
all right, Chilo, it's
I
good to be
agree.
here with you today.
Of course, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
DB, it's good to be here with you today.
Good to be here with you too.
All right, so I'll start off the questions, and I'll start from the current mayor slash governor, excuse me. Now, mayor, I'm just going to say mayor just for the sake of this, only because it gets confusing switching from mayor to governor. Mayor DB, do you favor increasing or reducing good boy checks? And then for those in attendance, you might want to explain what good boy checks are. And if so, how would you do it?
All right, so ever since the good boy check, or actually, let me restate that. Ever since I saw the good boy checks in a vault, I wanted them implemented right away, and I love the idea of them. I want there to be more of them, but I don't want them just to be given out for like one small good task. I want it to be handed out for several good tasks, like the one spectator in the crowd, Ned. He's been doing amazing work, and he has received either one or two good boy checks. Um, yeah, I want more of them, but I don't want them just handed out.
Okay. Chilo, same
I would
question
have
to
to
you.
agree with DB. I do believe that these good boy checks are fundamental because not just help others and getting a bit more cash, but it inspires them or motivation to do more. I also have to agree with them that just handing them out for doing nothing is pointless. You should hand them out only if they're doing really good deeds. Um, for example, like he used Ned.
Okay. Now, on to my next question. I'll throw it to you, Chilo. What three steps would you take to improve Philadelphia?
3 steps.
Like, what three things? You can say three steps, three things. I'll just say three steps, but yeah.
3 steps. I only got one,
Okay.
and that's to follow the people.
All right. Sounds good. And DBU?
So the first step is taking suggestions from the people of the city. As if I say that I ordered for demolition of a building that everybody liked, and nobody vote or everybody didn't want it destroyed, but I did it anyway. It's just going to cause an uproar, and that's not good for the city. Um, Second of all, as I've already been starting to do, improve the conditions as I have started doing the roads. Uh, and I'm certain those are almost done. Not 100% sure on that. Um, it's really all I got for right now.
Okay. Now, let's talk about something a little bit more controversial. DB, I'll start with you. Since 2016, hundreds, if not thousands, of illegal immigrants who were brought to, Philadelphia from Lionheart have registered under our government under, former President D. Cypher's executive order that gives them work permits and weapons permits that will not be deported. Will you honor those guarantees?
Well, I really don't have any jurisdiction to remove these permissions as they've already been granted. Um, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure those are timed. And if they do not renew their licenses and stuff, they are sadly going to have to be deported for security. But they're fully welcome to renew their permissions. Sorry, when they come up for expiration.
Okay, so would you say that these immigrants are bad hombres?
No, until there's a reason that they are not in my eyes.
Okay. And Chilo, how are you going to handle the immigration crisis coming out of Lionheart?
Everyone came here illegally out of fear.
Okay. Let's talk about the economy now. Something a little bit different. So the economy has grown slowly over the recent years, and one reason is a prolonged slump in productivity growth. What steps would your administration take to encourage, innovation and investment?
Is this a question for me?
Oh, yes, sorry, we're
Yeah,
starting with you. Yeah.
this is fine.
Okay. Well, personally, I'll do it for free. If there's a building that must be constructed, I'll do it for free. If the
Built,
people
not
want it,
constructed.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
I guess that's how I increase it.
All right. DB, your answer?
All right, so since there is a crisis in productivity, um, and there are the good boy checks, obviously, doing good work will ensure, well, not ensure, but will get you closer to a good boy check. And honestly, you get paid for doing the work, and then if you get free money on top of it just for doing it, who wouldn't want to do that? But I'm a realist, and some of that, or quite a few, or quite a bit, that won't work. And then, well, we got Ace Corp build forms, and if worse comes to worse, it'll get done eventually if you put in a build form.
Okay. Now let's talk about some international hotspots. Starting with you, DB. How would you respond to Fire and Ice's recent aggression, you know, as far as them trying to hack into our city, Philadelphia, and, take over?
Well, that's a very big topic to me as it has affected me personally, and a few members in the crowd will understand what that is. But it's an increasing threat, and if it continues, we're gonna have to take matters into our own hands and stop the threat by any means necessary. I don't want it to turn to that, but if it has to, we're gonna have to. There's no way of getting around it.
Okay. And Mr. Green, how would you respond to the threats coming from the threats looming from Fire and Ice, the looming threat that hangs over our head every day of the treacherous
One more
traitors?
threat, and I'll bring soldiers over there.
Okay. So now, how would you say you differ from your previous, what's that word? That's not what I'm trying to say. How would you say you're different from DB? That's what I was trying to say, but I was trying to talk all fancy. I couldn't get it out.
Your
Me?
opponent
Yeah, something like
or
that.
previous stated opponent.
It's like previous candidate, I think it was, or previous, whatever. Sorry.
The previous candidate.
I'm an honest man. I don't lie, and I'm a hard worker. And if you've been playing with me, you will know that.
Okay. Now, DB, how will you ensure the Philadelphia population that you can be honest and truthful and not, corrupt as the allegations against you have been so forthright?
All right, so I'm almost 100% certain that it was my opposition here offered me $1 million to let his worker out of jail for a crime he did commit. Um, So if that's showing that I'm not corrupt, I don't know what will. But then can you repeat the rest of the question?
Basically, you know, how can you get the American public to trust you again?
Well,
I said American, I meant to say Philadelphia. Sorry.
Philadelphian.
so like I stated earlier, I'm a realist. I know it's not going to happen overnight, but over the time that I have been mayor, I believe that people have begun to trust me a bit more. Um, as I've been finding them work to do, the city has been improving. Um, yeah. Also, in terms of a budget and a rebuttal to Chilo's statement, I'm not gonna make sure the budget gets used up in the first week. Paying $300,000 for some damn
Also,
interior work.
question for you:
Crazy, man.
what crime did Killer do?
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I'll have to go back through city records.
Because you said that he committed a crime. He did not.
Like I said,
And you,
I'm not sure what it is. I'll have to go back through the records, and then I can tell you that.
Without the records to show for it, we would not be able to say with anything factual on air.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
let's
you're
move
pussy.
on. We don't want to get into any gerrymandering, so let's move
yeah,
on.
he's being a pussy right now.
Chi-
Go ahead.
Chilo, how can we count on you? How can the people count on you to separate your own interests from the decisions a mayor must make?
If it comes to spending my own money, I'll do it.
Well, there you have it. DB, how about you? How can the people of Philadelphia count on you and rest assured that you're putting their interest above your own?
All right, so I'm gonna take a little example here. Anytime that I have, or that the city wants to destroy any older building for something newer and that will generate more revenue and stuff like that, more jobs, I ask you if you have any emotional ties to it. Like when we redid the ghetto, I had you mark out all the buildings that you did not want destroyed for emotional value. So basically what I'm trying to say is you gotta ask the public what they want.
Well,
And
that's good. That brings me to my next segment. We actually are going to start asking the public some questions, and it's going to become an open forum. So, Chilo, sorry, I'm about to say Chilo, not you. Sly, would you like to ask either of these candidates a question? I don't have a microphone in my hand to use. Let me try to
Oh, we
find
should
something real
definitely have
fast.
that. Definitely need to add that in the next vid.
I just grab a
Alright, we're
stick
gonna
real
take a break.
fast.
You're gonna have to edit this out.
Alright, this is the best I could come
Oh,
up with on such short
are you live
notice.
streaming, by the way?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube, not Twitch with it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
What
Good.
questions
Because
do you have for the populace? I mean, not the populace, you know what I'm trying to say. The candidates.
well, I think they're both. Personally, I think they're both great candidates, and I don't really have a question for either of them. I think they both had very good answers tonight, and it's gonna be a tough call.
Okay. Todd, first of all, you should be working, but what, what questions do you have? Is animal testing a justified thing? Okay, Todd wants to know, to the both of you, should animals be used in testing of products?
I'm picturing the round like that.
Okay, I'll just...
personally, it depends on the kind of animal. If it's like a rat or something easily disposable, I believe there should be. If it's a household pet, say a dog, cat, animal like that, I do not believe it should. But if it's not a household pet, wild animal, I believe it should be.
Domesticated.
What about the monkeys? He said, what about the monkeys?
Monkeys
monkey.
are. I like monkeys, so no testing on monkeys.
And Chilo, what about you?
You just hear everyone
have
in
to
Ace's
agree.
background go, "Oh Jesus!"
Yeah,
I would have to
they're
agree with
watching
the part.
something.
Oh really? That's funny.
I think they're watching Wheel of Fortune.
I thought you were watching the live stream. That would have been way better.
Sorry, what you say, Chilo?
Can you can you say it again?
Oh, Todd, was it Todd, right? Let me see. Yeah, Todd wants to know, is animal testing a
Don't know
justified
your
thing?
slaves. I mean employees.
Yeah.
Oh my
Told,
God,
Okay,
Todd, I'm sorry. That's all I thought.
so I would have to agree with DB with the not not using the domesticated animals as testing. Um, but when it does come with like rats, bunny from the wild, even monkeys. I mean, they're not domesticated. We shouldn't really have a preference between one animal, only if they're domesticated. So if it does
But
come with
he said
monkeys
he
and fish,
didn't want to kill the monkeys though.
no, but we will use them as testing.
okay,
I
let's
gotta.
ask somebody else. Mr. Zombie Guy, Mr. Dead Man Walking, what do you have to ask? Well, I just want to know, is the death penalty appropriate? Okay, let's see. Chilo, what are your thoughts on the death penalty?
Never. I value a person's life.
Alright. What about you, DB? What are your thoughts on the death penalty?
Depends on the crimes. If it's murder or yeah, basically a murder, I believe they should get the death penalty as they've taken someone's life. They should not have one to live, even if it is in jail.
So basically, eye for an eye, right?
You could say
More
that.
more like a body for an eye, but yes.
A body or not?
Sorry, I just don't believe in killing.
Alright, let's, oh, Ned, you gotta text me if you have a question. Because I can't get a live response for you. So we'll go to Tom. Tom, do you have a question? Oh, okay, that's a good one. He whispered, he's very soft-spoken. Tom wants to know your thoughts on global warming. Is it an issue? DB, you can go first.
It's definitely an issue. The first stage is obviously acknowledging that it does exist. All those people that believe it is not a real thing are just, they're lunatics. In Chilo's favorite words, they're delusional. Um, but that's the first step, and we're just gonna go from there.
Chilo, what about you? Do you think global warming is an issue? His head's down. He's just like, oh man.
Well, considering the fact that we're playing Minecraft, no.
All right. Let me go. Ned has a question. Let's go over to Ned. Ned asks, how mandated health insurance for employees? So, should there be some mandated health insurance for employees? Chilo, you can go first. Yeah, I had DB go first. Chilo, you go first.
I like to think about it.
Okay, DB, your thoughts on health insurance for employees?
Well, there's a gray area there as um, if you are working for a company, you should be wearing your OSHA approved hard hat. Um, so if you are wearing that hard hat and you do get injured on the job, there should be some health insurance for that. If you're not wearing it, that's your own fault. There should be nothing that you can do to a company if you're not following safety precautions.
Okay.
So basically, no workers' comp, no health insurance if you're not wearing the appropriate gear.
Yeah, basically just don't get
Exactly.
sick and don't get injured.
If you're not
No, no,
following
no, no,
proper
no, no,
safety
no, no.
precautions and you get injured, I'm not going to help you. If you are if you are using proper safety precautions and all that, and you get injured, I
I
believe you
have a
should have health
question. I have a
insurance.
question.
Oh, okay.
I have
Another
a
member of the
question.
crowd. Sly has a question. Go ahead.
So I've heard rumors that OSHA if you get hurt while wearing OSHA approved gear, or like protection, I'm pretty sure the federal government pays the health bills. So and then that term, wouldn't you not need a health insurance plan?
If this is true, it's obviously amazing for businesses, but it's still good to have, even if this isn't true. I'm still going to support it.
I think it's just rumor. I don't know.
So, Chilo, sorry to take it back from you, DB. Did you think about your answer?
I think if they're working in a company and they get injured, they should be offered help. Doesn't matter if you're not wearing gear. Like I said, I value somebody's life.
Okay, okay. Next question. I did Chilo first, so it's time for you, DB. How do you feel about the war on terror in Philadelphia?
I think
Is
it's
there
a
one?
um I I wouldn't really call it a war on terror. I'd say it's more of a protest that's going on with these black flags that are um, appearing seemingly overnight. Also, on the police station, somebody is graffitiing it and saying "life" in black font. I don't think it's a war. I don't think it's a terror. I think it's just a protest. People are trying to get their word out. Um, I wish they would do it in more legal manners, but they're free to express their opinion. But yeah.
And Chilo, how do you feel about it?
There is definitely no such war, and if people want to express how they feel, they can go ahead. But once they are a uh, illegal issue here with like shooting or anything that will we call it a war, that's when I will have to step in and use force.
It's definitely use force. Okay.
The whole military.
Yep, and it can happen again.
In general, Mr. PvP. All right. That's the that's what is that called? Never mind.
How about some more controversial stuff? Chilo, what are your thoughts on bringing clean water to the ghetto? This question was brought to me by Ned in the crowd as well. What are your thoughts on bringing clean water to the ghetto?
Um, I believe everybody should have the right to eat and drink clean food or water. That makes sense.
So do you plan on bringing clean water to the ghetto, or you just think they should be able to?
Yes, I plan to bring it to everybody.
And current mayor, how come this hasn't been addressed already?
So basically, that's actually a really good question. I personally, I don't know. I guess that hasn't been a.
I actually do know. I, may I intervene?
No, no. When you're running for president again, then you can learn or
Okay.
whatever. I said
All right.
learn. I don't know why I
So,
said learn. That wasn't what I meant to
um,
say.
I'll answer the question in the next video that we do. That way, people, can have something to look forward to.
all right. So, the only logical answer I have to that is during the demolition and then reconstruction of the ghetto, some stuff may or may not have spilled into the lake, and we have not been able to get a cleanup crew to clean it up. But I do believe that we do need to get clean water out there. But if they personally dirty it up themselves, I don't believe they should get clean water in the lake, as they ruin their chance for it.
Oh, so if the poor and disenfranchised dirty up their own water, it's up to them to get it fixed, right?
No, basically what I'm saying is they get clean water. If they want to destroy it by throwing garbage in there and whatnot, that's their water. Uh, Simple as that.
Very interesting.
It's their water.
Yeah, I know, right? Chilo, what are your thoughts on gun control?
Um, gun control. It's fine already.
Is it?
Shouldn't be any change. Yeah.
What's the crime? I don't have any numbers, but what is the crime rate of Philadelphia? I don't know.
Um, I wouldn't know. I
1.7%.
What was it?
It's 1.7%.
So that's low then, right? Because that's out of 100, 1.7%.
Yeah. So it's
Okay,
like
so
the
yeah, it's,
all-time low right now.
yeah, okay, city's pretty good then. Okay, okay, got it. All right, well, Chilo, what are your thoughts on gun control?
Um, I guess anybody should have the right to have a gun.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, I said Chilo, but I was looking at DB. No, no, Chilo, you already told me. You
Yeah.
already told me. I'm looking at DB.
So with the crime rate being so low, I really don't think there needs to be any gun control laws put in place. I think we have them good where we have them set now. Um, but a lot going on with the crime rate, I think a lot of the like, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for, but the reason it's so low is because of the new chief of police that's been added. I think he's had a very very high. I have no idea what the word I'm looking for is. A big part in making it so low.
Okay. Well, that about does it for all the questions I have. I'm gonna wrap it up. Let's get some closing statements. So, Chilo, your closing
You
remarks.
ask Ace?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Ace wasn't here. I didn't have a camera to point in front of him. Ace, do you have any questions before I let them go?
I'm good.
He's in phone
Go
call.
ahead.
Yeah, he's calling.
Yeah, I'm in the
Give it to Shadow.
Conference call.
I'm kind of busy right now.
All right, so
Hand shadow cell phone.
Yeah.
All right.
Ned have a question?
What?
all right. Well,
Did Ned have a question?
oh yeah, no. Ned asked 2 questions. He asked about the clean water and the other thing.
Ah.
Chilo, concerns for the people.
There you go. But yeah, okay. Well, I guess that's Chilo's, closing remarks. DB, do you have a closing remark?
Make Philadelphia great again by electing DB for governor.
All right. Well, thank you, folks, for joining us tonight on tonight's debate. You can always catch us here in Minecraft PS4 Philadelphia. Please leave a comment below in this video who you think did good on the debates and who would you vote for, Chilo on my right or DB on my left. Goodbye now. Goodbye and good night, America. Or good night and goodbye, America. Is that how that works? I think that's how that line works.